If you're over 40 and some outfits make you look older than you feel, you're not imagining it. The issue isn't your age. It's choices that fight your stage of life instead of working with it. Today, I'll show you the subtle age adders and the simple switches that make you look contemporary, capable, and at ease. No trend chasing, just smart adjustments that respect where you are now. The foundation: understanding age-appropriate style. Before we dive into specific mistakes, let's address something crucial. Age-appropriate style isn't about following rigid rules or dressing like every other man your age. It's about understanding what works with your current life stage, body, and goals rather than against them. Every decade brings changes, not just physical, but in terms of lifestyle, responsibilities, social contexts, and personal confidence. The clothing that made you look sharp at 25 might make you look like you're having a midlife crisis at 45. Similarly, clothing that's too conservative or traditional might make you look older and more stodgy than you actually feel. The key insight is that you have advantages now that you didn't have when you were younger. You understand quality over quantity. You've developed your own sense of what looks good on you. You have the confidence to make choices based on what actually works for your life rather than what's trendy or what everyone else is wearing. Your body has also settled into its mature form, which often means broader shoulders, a more substantial presence, and different proportions than you had in your 20s. Working with these changes rather than fighting against them always looks more sophisticated and attractive. Age-appropriate style also means understanding context better than you did when you were younger. You know when to dress up, when to dress down, and how to navigate different social and professional environments. Your clothing choices should reflect this social intelligence rather than ignoring it. The most stylish men over 40 aren't trying to look younger. They're embracing what's attractive about being a mature, experienced man and choosing clothing that enhances those qualities. They understand that confidence, quality, and appropriateness are more attractive than trying to recapture their youth through their wardrobe. But even with the right mindset, there are specific clothing choices that can age you dramatically, starting with one of the most common mistakes I see. Mistake number 1: wearing outdated fits and silhouettes. One of the fastest ways to add years to your appearance is wearing clothing in fits and silhouettes that are clearly from a different era. This doesn't mean you need to chase every trend, but it does mean avoiding cuts that immediately date you to a specific decade in ways that aren't flattering. The most common version of this mistake is wearing clothing that's too loose and baggy, fits that were popular in the 90s and early 2000s, but now look distinctly outdated. Oversized shirts that hang like tents, pants with excessive fabric around the thighs and hips, and jackets with boxy, shapeless silhouettes all add visual age because they look like you stopped paying attention to how clothes should fit. Baggy clothing makes you look larger, shorter, and less put together than you actually are. It also suggests that you either don't understand current proportions or that you've given up on looking sharp. Neither impression serves your goals of looking confident and contemporary. The opposite extreme, wearing cuts that are too tight or trendy for your age and body type, can be equally aging. Skinny jeans that require a struggle to put on, shirts that cling to every contour, or silhouettes that are clearly designed for much younger men can make you look like you're trying too hard to recapture your youth. The solution is finding modern fits that work with your current body and age rather than fighting against them. This typically means clothing that's well-tailored without being tight, that follows your natural silhouette without clinging or overwhelming it, and that looks current without being trendy. For shirts, this means fits that skim your torso without being loose or tight. The shoulders should fit properly, the chest should have enough room to be comfortable without excess fabric, and the length should be appropriate for wearing tucked or untucked depending on the style and occasion. For pants, modern fits usually mean a clean line through the leg without being skinny or baggy. The rise should be appropriate for your body type and age, usually at or slightly above your natural waist rather than sitting low on your hips. The leg opening should be proportional to current standards without being extreme in either direction. For jackets and blazers, contemporary fits typically mean structured shoulders that follow your natural line, a silhouette that creates shape without being tight, and proportions that look current rather than dated to a specific era. The key is understanding that fit evolves over time, and what looked sharp 10 or 15 years ago might look obviously outdated today. Staying current with fit doesn't mean following every trend, but it does mean avoiding silhouettes that immediately date you. But fit is only part of the equation. The colors and patterns you choose can age you just as dramatically. Mistake number 2, choosing colors that drain your vitality. As you age, certain colors that might have worked well when you were younger can start to wash you out, make you look tired, or emphasize signs of aging in unflattering ways. Meanwhile, other colors can enhance your natural coloring and make you look more vibrant and healthy. One of the most common mistakes is continuing to wear colors that made you look good in your 20s without considering how your skin tone, hair color, and overall coloring have changed over time. Your hair might be grayer, your skin tone might have shifted, and colors that once enhanced your natural coloring might now work against it. Very pale or washed out colors, light gray, beige, pale blue, or faded pastels can make mature men look tired, older, or unwell, especially if they're worn near the face. These colors can blend too much with changing skin tones and fail to provide the contrast needed to look vibrant and healthy. On the other hand, colors that are too bright or youthful can make you look like you're trying too hard or don't understand what's appropriate for your age. Electric blues, bright oranges, or colors that are clearly marketed to much younger demographics can make you appear out of touch rather than youthful. The colors that typically work best for men over 40 are rich, saturated tones that provide good contrast with your skin and hair while still looking sophisticated and mature. This often means deeper blues, rich grays, burgundy, forest green, and warm browns, rather than their pale or overly bright counterparts. Navy blue is almost universally flattering and sophisticated for mature men. It provides good contrast with most skin tones, works in both professional and casual contexts, and never looks like you're trying too hard. Charcoal gray is similarly versatile and sophisticated while being more interesting than basic black. Rich, warm colors like deep burgundy, forest green, or chocolate brown can add warmth and vitality to your complexion while looking distinctly mature and sophisticated. These colors work especially well in fall and winter, but can be adapted for other seasons through different fabrics and styling. White and crisp colors near your face can provide the contrast needed to look sharp and vital, but they need to be true whites or clear colors rather than dingy or yellowed versions that can make you look washed out. The key is choosing colors that enhance your natural coloring as it is now, not as it was 20 years ago. This might mean adjusting your color palette slightly to work with changes in your skin tone and hair color while still reflecting your personal style and preferences. But even perfect colors won't help if you're making critical mistakes with patterns and textures. Mistake number 3, wearing patterns that age you. Certain patterns can instantly age you by making you look outdated, overly conservative, or like you're wearing clothes from a different era. Meanwhile, other patterns can make you look contemporary and sophisticated while still being age-appropriate. One of the most aging pattern mistakes is wearing very traditional, old-fashioned patterns that immediately date you. This includes things like overly busy plaids that look like they're from the 1980s, striped ties that scream middle management from 1995, or patterns that are clearly associated with much older generations. Very small, fussy patterns can also be aging because they can look old-fashioned and overly formal in ways that don't feel current. Tiny checks, micro patterns, or very traditional designs can make you look more conservative and dated than sophisticated and mature. On the opposite extreme, patterns that are too bold, trendy, or youthful can make you look like you're trying to dress younger than you are. Large, attention-grabbing patterns, designs that are clearly marketed to younger demographics, or patterns that are very trendy can make you appear out of touch with what's appropriate for your age. The patterns that work best for mature men are classic designs that feel current rather than dated. This typically means clean stripes, subtle checks, simple geometric patterns, or understated designs that add visual interest without overwhelming your appearance or looking like you're trying to make a statement. Thin stripes or clean, simple patterns can add sophistication and visual interest while still looking mature and appropriate. The key is choosing patterns that are large enough to look current, but not so large that they overwhelm your frame or look attention-seeking. Solid colors are always safe and sophisticated choices that never look dated or inappropriate. Building your wardrobe around high-quality solids and adding patterns sparingly is often the most foolproof approach for mature men. When you do choose patterns, make Make sure they're proportional to your build and appropriate for the context. Smaller men can handle smaller patterns, while larger men generally look better in slightly larger, bolder designs. Professional environments typically call for more subtle patterns than casual or social settings. The goal is adding visual interest and personality without looking dated, trying too hard, or inappropriate for your age and lifestyle. This balance is what separates sophisticated pattern choices from aging mistakes. But patterns are just one element. The specific clothing items you choose can age you dramatically. Mistake number 4: choosing clothing items that scream outdated. Certain specific clothing items have become so associated with particular eras or age groups that wearing them immediately ages you or makes you look out of touch with current style. These items might have worked well in the past, but continuing to wear them now can undermine your efforts to look contemporary and confident. Pleated pants are one of the most aging items in many men's wardrobes. While they might be comfortable and practical, they immediately date you to the 1990s and can make your silhouette look older and less sharp than flat front alternatives. The extra fabric around the waist and hips created by pleats can also make you look heavier and less streamlined. Short-sleeve dress shirts are another item that can instantly age you. While they might seem practical for warm weather, they often look dated and unprofessional compared to long-sleeve shirts with rolled sleeves. Short-sleeve dress shirts can also make your proportions look awkward and less sophisticated. Very wide ties or very narrow ties can both age you by associating you with specific eras. Extremely wide ties look like they're from the 1970s, while very narrow ties can look like you're trying to follow trends meant for much younger men. Classic width ties and quality materials look more timeless and sophisticated. Cargo pants and shorts with multiple pockets and utility details can make you look like you've given up on looking polished or are stuck in a particular era. Clean, simple pants and shorts in modern fits look more contemporary and mature. Overly branded clothing with large logos or obvious designer labels can make you look like you're trying too hard or don't understand sophisticated style. Mature men generally look better in clothing where quality and fit speak louder than branding. Athletic wear in non-athletic contexts can age you by making you look like you've stopped caring about appropriate dress codes or don't understand when casual is too casual. This includes wearing gym clothes, athletic sneakers, or sports team apparel in situations where more polished casual wear is appropriate. Formal clothing in casual contexts can also age you by making you look out of touch with current casual style. This includes wearing dress shoes with jeans, overly formal shirts in casual settings, or business attire when the situation calls for relaxed, contemporary casual wear. The key is understanding which specific items in your wardrobe might be aging you and replacing them with more contemporary alternatives that serve the same function while looking current and age-appropriate. But even choosing the right individual items won't help if you're making crucial mistakes about formality levels. Mistake number 5: mismatching formality levels. One of the most subtle but significant ways clothing can age you is when the formality levels of different pieces don't work together harmoniously. This creates visual confusion and can make you look either out of touch with current style or like you don't understand appropriate dress codes. The most common version of this mistake is mixing very formal pieces with very casual ones in ways that don't work together. For example, wearing dress shoes with distressed jeans, formal ties with casual shirts, or business blazers with athletic wear creates visual disconnects that can make you look confused about appropriate style. Another aging mistake is being too formal for casual situations or too casual for situations that call for more polish. Overdressing for casual events can make you look rigid, out of touch, or like you don't understand social cues. Underdressing for situations that call for more formality can make you look like you don't care about making appropriate impressions. The solution is understanding how to match formality levels across all elements of your outfit while being appropriate for the specific context. This means choosing pieces that work together harmoniously while being suitable for the situation you're in. For casual settings, this might mean well-fitted jeans with quality casual shirts and appropriate casual shoes, all at the same level of relaxed sophistication. For business casual, it might mean chinos with button-down shirts and leather shoes that all work together to create a polished but not overly formal impression. The key is consistency across all elements of your outfit. Your shoes should match the formality level of your pants, which should match the formality level of your shirt, which should match the appropriateness of the situation. When all elements work together, you look intentional and sophisticated rather than confused or inappropriate. This also means understanding the difference between quality casual wear and sloppy casual wear. You can be appropriately casual while still looking polished and put together. The goal is looking relaxed and comfortable without looking like you've given up on making a good impression. Similarly, you can be appropriately formal without looking stiff or overdressed. The goal is looking polished and respectful of the situation without looking uncomfortable or like you don't understand the dress code. But even perfect formality matching won't help if you're making fundamental mistakes about fit and proportion. Mistake number 6, ignoring how your body has changed. Many men continue wearing the same styles, fits, and proportions they wore when they were younger, without adjusting for how their bodies have naturally changed over time. This can create unflattering proportions and make you look older than you need to because your clothing is fighting against your current physique rather than working with it. Your body at 40+ is different from your body at 25. And this isn't something to be ashamed of or to fight against. It's something to work with strategically. Your shoulders might be broader, your midsection might be different, your posture might have changed, and your overall proportions might have shifted. Smart clothing choices acknowledge these changes and work with them rather than ignoring them. Many men make the mistake of wearing clothing that's either too tight, trying to fit into the same sizes they wore when younger, or too loose, trying to hide changes rather than working with them. Both approaches usually make you look older and less confident than choosing clothing that fits your current body properly. If you've developed more weight around your midsection, the solution isn't wearing oversized clothing that hides your entire body. It's choosing fits that create structure and flattering lines while being comfortable and realistic about your current proportions. This might mean shirts with a slight taper that don't cling but don't balloon out either. If you've lost weight or muscle mass, the solution isn't continuing to wear clothing that's now too large. It's finding pieces that fit your current build without overwhelming it. This might mean having your existing clothing tailored or choosing new pieces in appropriate sizes. If your posture has changed or your shoulders have broadened with age and experience, your clothing should accommodate these changes rather than fighting against them. This might mean different jacket proportions, shirt fits that work with your current shoulder width, or adjustments to how you wear certain pieces. The goal is always to look like the best version of yourself as you are right now, not like you're trying to recreate a previous version of yourself or hide the person you've become. This confidence and self-acceptance is actually more attractive than trying to fight against natural changes. Professional tailoring can be incredibly valuable for mature men because it ensures that clothing fits your current body properly rather than some generic ideal. Even relatively inexpensive clothing can look sophisticated and expensive when it fits your body correctly. But even perfect fit won't help if you're making the final critical mistake that ages many men prematurely. Mistake number 7, neglecting the details that matter. The details of how you wear, maintain, and style your clothing can add or subtract years from your appearance just as dramatically as the clothing choices themselves. Many men get the big pieces right, but neglect the small details that either complete a polished contemporary look or reveal that they're not paying attention to how everything works together. Poor grooming and maintenance can make even expensive, well-fitted clothing look cheap and aging. Wrinkled shirts, stained clothing, worn-out shoes, or garments that clearly haven't been properly cared for all make you look older and less put together than you actually are. Taking care of your clothing and keeping it in good condition is essential for looking contemporary and confident. Inappropriate accessories can instantly age you or make you look out of touch with current style. This includes outdated eyeglass frames, watches that look clearly dated, belts that don't match your shoes or style, or accessories that are either too formal or too casual for your outfit and age. Poor fit in overlooked areas can undermine otherwise good clothing choices. This includes sleeves that are too long or too short, pants that aren't hemmed properly, shirt collars that don't fit correctly, or other fit issues that make you look sloppy or like your clothing wasn't chosen specifically for you. Outdated hairstyles or facial hair can make contemporary clothing choices look disconnected or aging. Your grooming should work with your clothing choices to create a cohesive, current appearance rather than working against it or looking like it's from a different era. Ignoring seasonal appropriateness can make you look out of touch or like you don't understand basic style principles. This includes wearing heavy fabrics in summer, light fabrics in winter, or seasonal colors and styles at inappropriate times of year. Inconsistent quality levels across your outfit can create visual confusion and make you look less sophisticated than choosing pieces that are all at appropriate quality levels for each other. Mixing very expensive pieces with very cheap ones often looks worse than choosing consistently good quality at a level you can afford across all pieces. Poor posture and body language can make even perfect clothing choices look aging or ineffective. Standing tall, moving confidently, and carrying yourself well enhances whatever you're wearing and makes you look younger and more vital than slouching or seeming uncomfortable in your clothes. The key insight is that all these details work together to create your overall impression. You can't neglect the details and expect the clothing choices alone to make you look contemporary and confident. Everything needs to work together harmoniously. What to wear instead? Age-appropriate alternatives. Now that you understand the mistakes that can age you prematurely, let's talk about the specific alternatives that will make you look contemporary, confident, and authentically attractive at your current age. For bottoms, choose well-fitted flat-front pants in classic colors and contemporary cuts, dark jeans without distressing, chinos in versatile colors, and dress pants with clean lines all work well for mature men. The fit should be comfortable but not loose, contemporary but not trendy. For shirts, focus on quality button-downs in classic colors, well-fitted polos without excessive branding, and casual shirts in appropriate fabrics and patterns. Long sleeves that can be rolled up are generally more sophisticated than short sleeves. The fit should follow your torso without being tight or loose. For outerwear, choose blazers and jackets in classic cuts that work with your current body, quality sweaters in sophisticated colors, and casual jackets that are appropriate for your lifestyle. The key is pieces that add structure and sophistication without looking overly formal or casual for your typical situations. For footwear, invest in quality leather shoes in classic styles, clean sneakers in neutral colors for casual wear, and boots that work with your wardrobe and lifestyle. Avoid athletic shoes in non-athletic contexts and overly trendy styles that might look dated quickly. For accessories, choose watches that are appropriate for your age and lifestyle, belts that match your shoes and outfit formality, and eyewear that looks current without being trendy. Quality over quantity is especially important for accessories. The goal is building a wardrobe of pieces that work together to create sophisticated contemporary looks that feel authentic to who you are now rather than who you were or who you think you should be. Your age-appropriate style action plan. Here's exactly what to do to start looking more contemporary and confident. Week 1. Assessment. Look through your current wardrobe honestly and identify pieces that might be aging you based on what we've discussed. Don't throw everything out, but identify what's working and what isn't. Week 2. Prioritize focus on the most aging items first, typically fits that are clearly outdated, colors that wash you out, or pieces that are obviously from different eras. Start with the changes that will have the biggest impact. Week 3. Research and plan. Identify what you need to replace or update based on your lifestyle, budget, and goals. Focus on versatile pieces that will work for multiple situations rather than very specific items. Week 4. Strategic shopping. Start with 1 or 2 key pieces that will make the biggest difference in how contemporary and confident you look. Focus on quality and fit rather than quantity. Ongoing refinement. Continue making small improvements and adjustments based on what works and what doesn't in your actual life. The goal is continuous improvement rather than dramatic overnight changes. Conclusion: the confidence of age-appropriate style. The right clothing choices won't just make you look more contemporary, they'll make you feel more confident and help you present the best version of yourself to the world. When you dress appropriately for your age while still looking current and sophisticated, you project the kind of confidence that only comes with maturity and self-awareness. The most attractive men over 40 aren't trying to look younger or older than they are. They're embracing what's appealing about being a mature, experienced man and choosing clothing that enhances those qualities. This authenticity and confidence is more attractive than any specific clothing item or trend. Understanding what ages you prematurely and what makes you look contemporary and confident is about more than just vanity. It's about presenting yourself in a way that reflects your capabilities, your sophistication, and your understanding of appropriate style. This can impact how others perceive you professionally and socially. The goal isn't perfection or following every style rule rigidly. It's making thoughtful choices that work with who you are now rather than against it. When your clothing choices feel authentic and appropriate, everything else becomes easier because you're not fighting against your natural advantages. If you found these insights helpful and want more practical advice about looking confident and contemporary as a mature man, hit that subscribe button. I'm here to help you understand not just what to avoid, but what to choose instead and why certain approaches work better than others. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to age-appropriate style? Maybe it's knowing what to replace from your current wardrobe, understanding what contemporary fit means for your body type, or finding pieces that feel both current and authentic to your personality. Let me know in the comments below. Your questions help me create content that addresses the real style challenges mature men are facing. Remember, you've earned the right to look confident and sophisticated exactly as you are right now. The goal isn't to dress younger or older, it's to dress like the most attractive version of yourself at whatever age you happen to be. When you make clothing choices that work with your maturity rather than against it, that confidence and authenticity becomes genuinely attractive to everyone around you.